What's up, y'all? I'm back at it again. I recently read His Needs, Her Needs by Willard Harley, and I'm going to teach you how to master meeting your wife's needs. If you were asked the question, what could you do for your wife that would make her the happiest? Would you be able to answer that question? There's 10 emotional needs, while men on average pick a particular 5 emotional needs and women pick another 5. You can't guarantee that each one will be the other, but in order for a couple to sustain romantic love that doesn't burn out, each of them have to meet the needs that's most important to their partner. So let's get into it. The first step is understanding the concept of the love bank. The vast majority of marital breakups happen when one or both of the partners lack the skills and awareness to meet each other's emotional needs. The author introduces a concept called the love bank. Everyone has a love bank with many different accounts, each one for a person that we know. Each person either makes deposits with pleasurable interactions or withdrawals by painful interactions. In the love bank, every deposit or withdrawal is worth a certain amount of love units. The concept is meant to display that we affect each other emotionally with almost every encounter. Every marriage should have an atmosphere that says, I really care about you and I know that you care about me. And you do that by being intentional with your partner's love bank. Now we're going to get into mastering and understanding the 5 emotional needs of almost every woman. The first need is affection. The first thing a woman can't do without is affection. The affectionate man is an irresistible man. To most women, affection symbolizes security, protection, comfort, and approval, which are all vital for a woman to have. When a husband shows his wife affection, he's indirectly telling her, I care about you, you're important to me, I don't want anything to happen to you, and I'm concerned about the problems you face, and I'll try to overcome them. A hug can say all those things without saying them. Men need to understand how strongly women need affirmations of affection. Hugging is just one example of those types of affections. Another example is greeting cards or a note expressing love and care, a bouquet of flowers, an invitation to a dinner, opening the door for her, holding hands in public, back rubs, random phone calls, seeing how she's doing, conversations with thoughtful and loving expressions, kissing, sitting close, joining her shopping. All of these say that you're special to me and I want to show you how much I love and care about you. Therefore, any expression of affection will add love units to her love bank. All of these ideas work for the average woman, but have your wife make a list of the signs of care and affection that means the most to her. Have her make the ones that she likes and the signs of affection that she dislikes, and then create a plan that you intentionally follow to become an affectionate husband until meeting that need is almost effortless. Affection is the communication of care. The second emotional need of a woman is intimate conversation. Conversation itself is important because it meets a basic emotional need for most women. Most women love talking. The author shared that there is 2 key questions that can help in creating an intimate conversation. And one of them is, what did I do to make you feel good today? The second is probably what you guessed. What did I do to make you feel bad today? If you do something that affects your wife negatively, you need to know about it so you can eliminate it and do something that pleases her instead. The author then shares specific enemies of intimate conversation. The first enemy, making demands. Making demands gives your spouse no right to refuse, and they destroy intimate conversation and withdraw love units. A better approach to any problem is asking, how would you feel about helping me with this problem that I'm having? Or could you, and then fill in the blank. It communicates care for your spouse. The second enemy is being disrespectful. The quickest way to end intimate conversation is by saying something that's construed as disrespectful. Avoiding disrespect in marriage doesn't mean that you agree with everything that your spouse does or says, but the way you disagree shouldn't be offensive. Regardless on how you feel, don't say anything that's disrespectful. Disrespect makes massive love bank withdrawals and usually cripples intimate conversation. There's a fundamental truth that the author shared on the topic of disrespect, and he said, if your wife considers what you say disrespectful, it is. The third enemy is expressing anger. Expressions of anger are always intended to be hurtful. So when spouses are angry with one another, they shouldn't say anything until they've had the chance to cool off. Next after that, he shared the friends of intimate conversation. The first friend is conversing to inform, investigate, and understand. One of the valuable uses of marital conversation is to create emotional closeness. Nothing does that better than talking with one another in a positive way and an encouraging way. Inform each other about your personal feelings, interests, and activities. Answer every question honestly and respectfully. Provide information that your spouse wouldn't think to ask for. Investigate each other's personal feelings, interests, activities without being demanding, disrespectful, or angry when you hear something that should be changed. Understand each other's personal feelings, interests, and activities. What makes your spouse happy and sad, and why does it have that effect? The second friend is developing interest in each other's favorite topics. Learn about what your wife likes to talk about and what she likes to have conversation about. The third friend, give each other undivided attention. One of the quickest ways for a husband to upset his wife is to carry on a conversation while he's multitasking and doing something else. She quickly becomes upset because he's not paying attention to what she's saying. It's her need for intimate conversation that has to be met, so keep that in mind. The third emotional need is for honesty and openness, meaning that she needs to trust him completely. A sense of security is the foundation of a woman's basic 5 needs. If a husband doesn't maintain an honest and open communication with his wife, he undermines her trust and eventually destroys her sense of security. To feel secure, a wife must trust her husband to give her accurate information about his past, present, and future. What has he done? What is he thinking about now? And what's his plans for the future? Transparency is one of the most important qualities in a successful marriage. The author went as far to say as the word privacy has no place in a husband and wife's relationship. Being radically honest and open with your wife will deposit so many love units. However, being dishonest and hiding some truth in some way is offensive and causes massive love bank withdrawals. The fourth emotional need for a woman is financial support. Even though very few women express it, most wives expect their husbands not only to work but to earn enough to support their family. Women usually want a choice between following a career and being a homemaker, or possibly some combination of the two. Often, they want to be homemakers in their younger years while their children are small. Women are relieved and feel so much better towards their husband when they realize that his income actually pays for her and her children's needs. If your income as a husband is insufficient to do that, you should consistently work at improving your skills to be able to make more money. The fifth emotional need of a woman is family commitment. She needs the husband to be a good father. Wives want their husband to take a leadership role in their family and commit themselves to the development of their children. The ideal scenario for a wife is to marry a man or have kids with a man she can look up to and respect, and then have her children grow up to be like their father. Proverbs 22:6 says, "Train a child in the way that they should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it." So parenting takes a lot of training. The first way to do that is learn how to reach an agreement with your wife. Reach an agreement on how you guys want to discipline your children. A joint opinion receives greater respect from children and carries more weight with them. The second thing is learn how to explain the rules. Children need to understand why they're being told what they should do. When you feel frustrated, pulling out the "because I said so" tool may work, but you've lost the opportunity to explain the rationale and the character and ethical values that you're trying to instill in them as a kid. The third thing is learn how to be consistent. Parents should make rules together, then stick with them regardless of their mood. The fourth thing is learn how to punish properly. The very best way to train your children is by example. As you demonstrate care for one another and meeting each other's basic needs, your children will learn what it means to be thoughtful. The quality time that you spend with your children and teaching them important values go a long way towards raising children who need little to no punishment. The fifth thing is learn how to handle your anger. Don't discipline your children while you're in a state of anger. It teaches children that an angry outburst is an appropriate way to vent frustrations. So control your anger before you discipline your child. By separating your emotion from the disciplinary action, you become far more effective in executing discipline. So to summarize, the first thing you need to understand is that everyone has love banks, and everything you do either adds love deposits to your wife's bank or withdraws them. It's your responsibility to intentionally make deposits and intentionally stay away from making withdrawals. The first emotional need of a woman is affection. Create an environment of affection that clearly and repeatedly expresses care for your wife. Ask her what things does she perceive as affection. The second emotional need is intimate conversation. Set aside undistracted time every day to talk to her about things that she enjoys talking about. The third emotional need is honesty and openness. Tell your wife everything that she wants to know without leaving anything out. The fourth emotional need is financial support. Assume the responsibility to house, feed, and clothe your family, and increase your income if you can't currently provide at that level. The fifth emotional need is family commitment. Commit to spending sufficient time developing your children and spending time with your family. So comment what emotional needs you've been great at meeting and which ones you've been weak at. By the application of these principles, love will never run dry in your relationship in Jesus' name. Until next time.